to In Fearless Conversation, a podcast from 261 Fearless, where every discussion is an opportunity to shape the future. I'm your host, Kim Chafee, and together we'll explore any topic that impacts a woman's quality of life, from leadership and personal growth to health and financial security. Join me and discover how a fearless conversation can shape the future you deserve. Happy Thursday, everyone, or Friday, or Tuesday, whatever day it is that you're listening. Welcome back. Today's episode of In Fearless Conversation is the second episode of our Run Your Year series. If you haven't listened to last week's episode on mindset, I highly recommend going back to listen to that, but you certainly don't have to listen to it before today's episode, where we're going to talk about getting started. So if you did listen to last week's episode, I hope that you've had enough time now to let those mindset tips marinate in your mind and you're feeling ready to move from thought into action. I know for me and for so many women, this is really the hardest part. It's not even the actual running part, but the getting started part. We think about it and we plan for it, and then we wait for the right time. And then before we know it, weeks, sometimes years maybe have gone by, and we wait for the perfect time. But today, we're going to talk about how to get started with running in a way that feels doable, supportive, and sustainable. And as with everything that we do and say with 261 Fearless, there's no pressure here. There's no such thing as perfection. We're just going to put one foot in front of the other. That's it. Okay, so let's get started. Point number 1, start small. This is one of the most important things we can remember when we're starting to run. Start small. Small is powerful. So many women think starting means I have to go out and run for 30 minutes straight, or I need to follow this strict running plan that I found online or that my friend is doing. I need to do it right from day one. I need to do it perfectly. That's not the best way to build consistency, and that makes it really challenging to not only start, but keep going. One of the best ways to build consistency is making small, powerful changes. So starting small might look like taking a 10-minute walk, or starting with walk-run intervals, running to the end of the block, or showing up when you don't feel ready or motivated to do so. Small steps don't mean small progress. They mean you're creating a habit and you're building trust with yourself. It means you're showing up again tomorrow because you're taking one small step at a time. If you are the kind of person that psychs yourself out because you think that you should be doing more, you need to stop. Stop it. You don't need to do more. You need to do something small and just do it consistently. Okay, so start small and go from there. And that brings me to point number 2. We need to stop overthinking. This is one of the biggest barriers to getting started. We overthink about what shoes we need to wear, what app we should use, what plan we should be following, how fast we should run, what other people are going to think when they see me, when they drive by, if I'm running or if I'm walking, what are they going to think? This overthinking creates delay. Delay creates doubt. And doubt sucks and keeps us stuck. So repeat after me. I don't need a perfect plan. I just need to move. Put on the sneakers or the trainers and step outside. Whatever you have, just put them on, step outside. Movement is going to create clarity for you. And with clarity comes confidence. Remember that confidence comes after we take action, not before it. You can figure things out as you go. You are allowed to adjust and learn by doing. My husband loves the saying, the only wrong decision is indecision. So today is the day to decide and get started. Our next point number 3, I'm going to bring you briefly back in time with me to when I was 16 years old playing volleyball for my high school team. I had the best volleyball coach. I loved her so dearly. Shout out to Coach Holleran. I still remember something she would tell us when we were on the court. Kiss it. Have you heard that before? KISS stands for keep it simple. And the last S, it's really up to you. Some people say seriously or Susan or Stanley. The last S isn't really the important one. It's the one before, the one that stands for simple. Keep it simple. You don't have to be fancy and come up with a complicated play to win a point. Just keep it simple. And the same applies to running. Let's not make it complicated. Choose a few days a week that work best with your schedule. Run or walk at a conversational pace. So that means you're running and still able to chat with a friend that you're running with. And then do it again. Repeat it. That's it. Okay, you don't need fancy gear. You don't need this very rigid schedule. You don't have to track everything in order for it to count. Running is just one foot in front of the other. The simplicity is what makes it sustainable. When things are feeling overwhelming, simplify it. When you feel stuck, simplify. If your motivation drops, simplify. Just keep moving. Keeping it simple, it's going to keep you moving forward. Quick pause to tell you about something I truly believe is a game changer. If you've been wanting to get started on your running journey but don't know where to start, Activate You is here to help. Activate You is about moving your body, building belief in yourself, and taking small, brave steps forward. No pressure, no perfection, just progress. If you're ready to feel stronger, supported, and more like yourself, it's time to activate you. Visit 261fearless.org and click the Activate You tab on the top of the page to learn more. Point number 4, building a routine that fits your life. The best running routine is the one that works for you and your life, not the one that looks super impressive to someone else or the schedule that someone else is following, your bestie or someone that you see online. The schedule that you need to have for yourself, the routine for you, is the one that fits your real life. So that might mean doing short runs instead of long ones, mornings instead of evenings, or maybe vice versa. Walking on Sundays instead of running, making sure that you're being flexible instead of rigid. If something comes up, that's okay. Consistency doesn't come from discipline alone. It comes from alignment. When your running fits your life, it becomes something that you can return to, not something that you avoid or feel like you have to fit in. Okay, you can always build later. Right now, the goal is just to start. Point number 5, we're going to cut the cord. Ladies, it's time. We've been keeping our running tethered for far too long. It's time to detach our running from weight loss. This is one of the most important mindset shifts we can make when getting started with running. So many of us are taught be it directly or indirectly, that running only counts if it changes your body. Okay, it has to burn a lot of calories, and it helps us earn certain foods that we can eat. It helps make us smaller. When running is tied to punishment or shame or guilt or a certain appearance, it rarely lasts, because what happens on the days that the scale doesn't move, or when your body doesn't change the way you expected or hoped? Your running starts to feel like failure instead of freedom. So let's be very clear. Your body does not need to change for running to matter. Running is not a transaction. It's not something you do to earn rest, food, or worth. Running is something you do because it clears your head and helps you manage stress, because it makes you feel strong and gives you energy. It gives you time that belongs only to you. So when we detach running from weight loss, something powerful happens. We stop asking, how many calories did I burn? And we start asking, how do I feel? We start listening to our bodies. We slow down when we need to. We show up more consistently because the pressure is gone. This idea of detaching your running doesn't just stop with weight loss. It applies to outcomes in general. Running doesn't have to lead to a big race. It doesn't have to lead to a personal best. It doesn't have to be fast or impressive to others. Running can just be a short walk run or 10 quiet minutes outside. It's choosing yourself on a day when everything else feels heavy. When we detach running from results, we make space for joy. When we detach running from appearance, we make space for sustainability. And when we detach running from pressure, we make space for belonging. So if you're just starting or starting again, try this reframe. Don't run to change your body, run to connect with it. Run to feel capable, to feel grounded, to feel like yourself. As we wrap up today's episode, I hope you're feeling like starting isn't so scary after all. Remember, you don't have to start big, you just have to start. Start small, stop overthinking, keep it simple, and cut the cord to all that extra stuff and just run to run. Every step counts, every attempt matters, every start is worth celebrating. Next week, in our final episode of our Run Your Year series, we'll talk about perseverance. So how do we keep going when motivation fades and life gets busy and running gets hard? Something always creeps up, life happens, we can learn to adjust to stay on track. Until then, please trust yourself, meet yourself where you're at, and remember that first step doesn't need to be an Olympic level leap. It just needs to happen.